Hey everyone, Jamie Phillips, Action Auto Parts here on a Saturday morning. It's about 9:20. Heading to town to get me and Peg some breakfast. Felicia's not working today. She's going to be with her kids, which is awesome. But man, I got to have somebody to vent to. So I hope I hope you can listen, please. But you know, I have people say, "How do you deal with everybody on Marketplace?" Because I've got close to 100 listings. So when I say I'm answering questions and all this, I get a lot of questions about parts, and they want pictures and everything. And when my listing, which nobody reads, all of them are pretty much the same, and it says that I will not sell the vehicle whole, parts only, that all parts are sold as is with no warranty or returns. So that's like three things saying, that's not what I do. That parts are cheaper if you pull them, and that I'm located about 5 miles south of Stanford, Kentucky. So if you're looking at a part, you should say, okay, first off, this guy doesn't give warranties. I don't want to buy from him. And that's cool. I understand. Or, hey, where is Stanford, Kentucky? Hey, Google can help me with that, and he's too far away. I don't want to drive there. But that I get all the time. Or it says I will not sell whole. They'll say how much for the whole car. And it's one of those things that I can, one, just delete it and not respond, and chances are they may ask again. Or you have to go through and tell them, explain it or whatever. Or why won't you give a warranty? Why won't you give it? Well, my prices compared to big, well-established junkyards is a lot cheaper. And if it's a used vehicle, I don't know nothing about it. Now, I may tell you, we drove it in and it was fine as far as that 2-mile drive or from the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill, and you just have to be the judge whether you want it. So I meet a lot of great people. Case in point, the guy that wanted the cradle for the Fiero, I don't think that nothing's going to happen on that, because he paid me in full, and he actually paid extra to cover the PayPal fees. And very, very easy to work with. But I had a guy a couple weeks ago and needed a transmission out of a Chevy Traverse van that I have. And I know this transmission's good because the guy was driving it to work every day, but it had an electrical issue that's causing it to die. And so, he just decided he was not going to put no more money in it. I drove it around there at the farm a bunch before I sold the motor and stuff out of it. So transmission wasn't going to be super hard, to get out because the motor was done gone. And I price it. He wants to know what it would be for me to pull it. I tell him, and he says, look, I'm on the road, but send me a Cash App request for the full amount, and I'll send it to you. Send it. Told Peg, I said, I just going to finish pulling it out, because this guy's going to pay me here in a little bit. And it seemed like it was going to rain. I was trying to get ahead of the weather, and transmission's out rather quick. Hey dude, where's my money? I'm still driving. I'm at blah 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 exit. Give me a little bit. Never ever paid. Came up with 14,000 excuses as to, well, it won't fit in my car if I come down to pick it up. I don't care about that. Send me my money, or be a man and at least send me some for the labor. That was it. And so that was a waste. Now my transmission's laying out on the ground in front of the vehicle where it still had the hood on it, and I can keep it covered up, so we got to get it slid back under, whatever. That one kind of had me raw. So I'm like, you know what? No more. People are going to start paying at least half down or a good deposit for me to get the parts pulled. All right, so flash forward to earlier this week. I had a guy, somewhat local, wanted a transmission, a 4L60. And I said, well, I got one in a 97 Tahoe. Great. How much is it? I told him. I always say it's like X amount of dollars with a core, or without a core, it's $15, $20 more, whatever. Well, how about if you all pull it? So I talked to Peg. Peg's like, yeah, boss, I can get it, blah, blah, blah. And so I gave him a price. And I said, but I'm not going to pull it. You know, you're going to have to give me like $150 deposit. And he said, dude, I got like $50 in my PayPal or something. He said, can I just send that to you and I'll be up there Saturday and get it? I got to have it. Okay. So I tell Peg, hey, he sent me a little deposit. Just go on and get the transmission pulled. So this was Thursday, and we were expecting rain yesterday. This was Friday. And so Peg about has it out. Don't like a whole lot. And I said, well, Peg, we can finish up either tomorrow, because it's not a real big chance of rain. It's kind of like scattered off and on. And I said, that way you all can go on home. And he said, yeah, it'd be good. He said, I can have it out in just in you know, a little bit. So then yesterday the guy calls me, and I don't have him programmed in my phone because I get a lot of calls. And he says, hey, do you have, and I can't even remember now what the first part was that he wanted. And I said, no, buddy, I don't have one of those. And he said, there was something else I was going to ask you, and I can't remember. And I said, well, if you think of it, holler back at me. So it goes 5 minutes. He calls me back and said, I remember what it was. It was a steering column. Well, I don't have a good steering column. They've all, if they're good, they've done sold, you know. And I said, no, buddy, I can't help you with that either. I said, all the good steering columns have done sold. I said, I might have one or two, but they're butchered up or whatever. He said, well, I'm the guy that's supposed to come after that transmission Saturday. And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, hey, great news. It's almost out. I said, Peg gets in here, you know, gets caught up. We'll have it out. Yeah, I said, I don't need it now. He said, I found out it won't work. I said, what do you mean it won't work? Well, it's too new and the plugins are this and that. And I said, dude, I told you what it was coming out of. And now I've got more than the $50 in labor to get it pulled, and you're backing out on me. Yeah. And it was kind of hinting like he thought I was going to give me his $50 back. No. So that really frustrated me, because I'm thinking, you know, daggone, can't people either figure out exactly what they need, what'll work before they ask? And he talked to me twice and was about to end the conversation, and he said, oh yeah, I'm the one that's supposed to come get that transmission. That should have been the first call. We should establish that right off the bat. He was probably thinking, well, I'll see if he's got this part or the steering column, and then I'll tell him that I don't need transmission, just take that 50 and knock it off those parts. And that wasn't going to work neither. So I'm kind of a little upset, and I'm like, yeah, no more. I'm going to quit doing this. If I can't get half down at least, or, you know, a very fair deposit, it makes no sense to me going on and paying Peg and him to pull it, and then it's just sitting there. So today the guy's supposed to be here to pick up the Fiero cradle and suspension. He's paid in full. All right, so there was, with the transmission guy, probably $240, $50, something like that I was expecting to get today. Okay. And so back it up to earlier in the week, there was a guy up in Ohio wanted a disc brake rear end for a 3rd gen Camaro, and I've only got one left. And I sent him pictures of it and tell him that's the only one I got left. And he said, oh man, thank God I found one, blah, blah, blah. What do you got to have out of it? So I get $175 for the rear end, which I thought was more than fair, because I sold the other one for that, and the guy was tickled to death. And I've had, you know, other people ask us, well, that's fair, but you're too far away. And this guy's like, yeah, you're about a 4-hour or whatever drive, but I got to have it. I said, well, I think I told him $100 deposit. Oh man. He said, can I send you 50? He said, I mainly deal in cash, but I got a Cash App card, and I think I got $50 on it. But he said, if I tell you I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there, because I got to have the rear end. Granted, Peg said every bolt came out so easy, it was shocking. He thought he was going to have to cut them or whatever. So it didn't take him long to pull it, but he him and Felicia drug an old trunk lid that we use as a sled that's been up, lays the rear end on it, hooks it to the back of the truck, pulls it down to the bottom of the hill where we can load him easy when he shows up today, okay? So I get a text at about 8 o'clock or a little after 8, headed your way. All right, awesome. And then I get a text from the cradle guy, headed your way. Great. So then I get a phone call just right before I leave the house. And the guy said, hey, dude, says, this one's coming after the rear end. I said, yeah, what's up? And he said, you ain't going to believe this. I found one closer to home for like a little of nothing. Okay. He said, so I don't want that one. And I said, dude, you know, this is why I told you that I needed a bigger deposit. And I told him what the guy had done on the Traverse transmission. He said, oh no, God almighty, I wouldn't do nobody like that. And I said, so now your rear end is out, drugged to the bottom of the hill where all you got to do is back up to it. We'll pick it up, put it in the bed of your truck. And for $50, you're telling me you don't want it. Well, he said, you can keep it at 50. And I said, dude, I would not have pulled the rear end, drug it to the bottom of the hill, only to have to load it back on the trunk lid, drag it back to the top of the hill, and try to roll it back under the car out of the weather and out of the way because it's mowing season for $50. And I just hung up because I knew I was about to go where I don't want to go. And I sent him a text and I was like, you know, that money that you promised me was going to be here today, I counted on it because I took you as a man of your word. You told me you wanted it. I worked with you on the deposit. You told me you were leaving. You were on your way. And now, out of all that headache and turmoil, instead of there again, another $225, I got 50. Same with the guy with the transmission. So I'm telling the wife, tomorrow's going to be a great day, whether nobody else pulls in, because I got $400 something made. Nah. So I guess I'm going to really have to just start saying it's half down or you'll find it somewhere else. And they'll either pay it or they won't. And I'll still have the part to sell to somebody else. They act like that they give you $50, that ought to cover everything. And it don't. It don't. Yeah, I've still got the part. Yeah, it's already out. But here's the thing, and I tried to explain it to that guy. He said, well, it's already out if somebody else wants it. Well, here's the deal. I always price it. Here's how much it is if you pull it. Here's how much it is if I pull it. Well, I can't tell somebody if they say, well, how much is the rear end? And I said, well, it's $175 if you pull it, because it's already out. And I can't say, and if they say, well, how much is it if you pull it? If I don't tell them it's out, well, how much more would it be if you pull it? I can't in good conscience tell somebody, oh, it's another $100 if I pull it, knowing it's already out. So I've lost money. And I try to explain it to him, same way the guy with the transmission. He said, well, when somebody else wants it, it's almost out. And I said, but what if they want to pull it? All that you've done is cheated me and helped them. They're going to be thankful that it's almost out, but you cheated me out of money. And I don't know. It blows my mind. I understand circumstances could come up. If the guy said, oh, dude, I know I told you I was on my way, but my truck's overheating or whatever. Can you work with me till next weekend? I'll send you a little more deposit to hold it. Things happen. I've been there, done that. But just to blatantly tell you that you want it and beg you to take less of a deposit and reiterate how much of a man of their word that they are, to only not be. I mean, great. So he found an extra rear end a whole lot cheaper close to home. Why hadn't he found it beforehand? Because I would want to think, if you're willing to drive it was 4.5 hours. It was like Portsmouth, Ohio or something. To get a rear end, you've done exhausted the more local places of looking for one. I mean, naturally, you're going to start looking at home before you branch out. And I guess not. I don't know. I pulled up the 5-star to go in here and get me and Peg some breakfast. And I was so frustrated that two in a row, that I said, I don't normally do it. I can't do it. Oh, buddy, I'll be there. I got to have it. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Let me back this up one more thing. The Nissan Murano that I've got, a local guy comes up and says, hey, my garage told me you had a Nissan Murano. I need a transmission. And I said, okay. Well, he kind of, I'd like to have a warranty. I said, you're not getting a warranty. I tell you what I can do. I'll call the guy I bought it from, and I'll ask him, what was wrong with your car? And he's going to tell you that it was running bad, but everything else worked good. I called him. I said, Lee, got somebody standing here looking at a part on your car. Can you tell him what was wrong with your car? Well, I got the running rough, and I just didn't want to put no more money in it, but everything else worked good. And I said, thank you. And I told him, I said, dude, that's all I can do for you is, it's $200 for the transmission and a core, and you get it pulled out. All right. So his garage calls me and says, and I know them. I mean, I know the guys at the garage. They used to do all kinds of mechanic work for me. They said, is it possible to come and get the car with our roll back, bring it to our garage, pull the transmission, bring the car and the motor back? I said, yes, but I don't want my car down there for no 2 or 3, 4 weeks because I can't sell parts on it if it's at your garage over a $200 transmission. Well, let me know when you got it ready. So there again, I go up on top of the hill. I clean out a bunch of stuff in front of it that was loose because we sold the bumper and stuff like that off of it, and made sure there wasn't nothing dragging. Hook to it. Me and Peg pulls it to the bottom of the hill. Have to put a jump box on it to get it in neutral. Call them. The Nissan's ready. They come and get it Tuesday. So I'm like, who's paying me for the transmission? You or the customer? Customer is. Well, you need to tell them come get with me. So nothing Tuesday. Wednesday, call the garage. I said, don't pull my transmission until I'm paid. Well, he usually pops in here. So I sent him a message on Facebook. We're friends on Facebook. And I said, dude, I need you to come pay me for my transmission before they pull it. And I need my car back ASAP. He's online. He's been offline. He's back online. He's been offline. He's back online. No response. So yesterday, there it is, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's done up about lunch Friday. I sent him another message. I said, I want my money right now and my vehicle back right now. This is not what we had agreed on. Then he messages me back and says, well, they said it ain't going to work. Well, then I want my car back. So I get to call the garage, can't get a hold of nobody that knows anything, and I'm starting to get a little infuriated, and I look up and here comes the rollback with my Nissan back on it. Well, it's been raining. He can't get up on the hill with his rollback. Where do you want this? Right here. I'll just have to pull it back up on the hill, put it back in its spot. And he said, yeah, transmission wouldn't work. I said, well, you all were the one that I asked. You come and looked at it. He said, well, yours was all-wheel drive and his was front-wheel drive. Well, that was something y'all should have asked. So then the rollback driver proceeds to say, well, I'm out 2 tow bills. He said, I guess I'll leave it between you and him. I said, you're not leaving it between me and him because I ain't paying no damn tow bill. Not at all. Well, I guess I'm screwed. I said, no, you're not screwed from me. You all asked me if you could come and get it. You need to take that up with your customer. And so I hit the guy a message back and said, look, if you or them are thinking I'm going to pay for one of these rollback fees, y'all are crazier than I'll get out. So he said, no, I'll pay for both of them. So there was another $200. So I should have been making $650, close to $700, well, about $650 today. Now I'm going to go in here and spend about $30 feeding me and Peg and getting some snacks and pop and ice. So it's one of these days that I look and say, you know what? If scrap was up, I'd crush this son buck out and forget about it for a while. But I know, good Lord up above, just give me a little test. Things will work out. Who knows? I still may sell $1,000 in parts today, and I might not sell a nickel. But the sun's shining. I'm up. I feel good today. I just been a little aggravated about people. So new rules is going to be they don't pay me at least half down or a real healthy deposit, which is probably going to be half down. I'm just going to set on the parts. I can't keep doing this. My old ticker don't need all the frustration. Now, I guess I can say rant's over. I'll get off my soapbox. And I hope I haven't brought you down this morning. I hope you're having a great Saturday morning. I want to try to turn my frown into a smile. It takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile anyway. And go get with old Peg Leg and let's eat breakfast and with Barney. And hopefully we'll have a great day. So hope you have a great day. Please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Please subscribe. And as always, I will catch you in the next one.